Hello my friends, John LaRuffa here with another Straight Up Solo, and in this episode we're going to take a look at free ride from a solo perspective. Let's see what we think about this one.
And as usual, folks, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I continue to build up my fan base. Okay, so here's free ride set up. I've played about a third of the way maybe through the game or so. I've exhausted the first round contract pile. And the whole goal of the solo game is to solve this little puzzle where you have to basically clear all the contracts before you run out of turns, which are represented by your coins here. You can get more coins by going with your train to spots that actually still have coins on the map, like this. And you can move around to basically deliver your contracts on the board or build rails. So let me go ahead and demonstrate what the situation is when you're doing that. So first, you have two moves you can do on your turn, and that's really pretty much it. You pay a coin, and you could either move your train up to 5 spaces right here, delivering contracts and picking up contracts along the way, or you can pay 1 coin to put 5 rails down. So I have these contracts right now. I've got Roma and Madrid, which means my train has to drive through, stop, or start in one of those places for me to pay that off. And when I go ahead and do that, I will open up one of my slots here to pick up new contracts over here. Now, how do I pick up the contracts? Well, I have a choice. Once I'm in that city, I can take the card that represents that city where I'm in, and then this is my destination. Or I could do it like this. This is the city I'm in, and this is my destination. So you basically take pairs here or pairs there, and the top card is where you pick up the contract, and the bottom card is where you fulfill it. So I'll give you a couple of quick examples here. So I'm right here in the middle, and I have the Roma and the Madrid. Okay, so I could go right away to Roma right now by going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe heading back to Madrid. I could do that, kind of going that way, which might be the way to go. Or I could look at these contracts and say, maybe I want to do something different. But let's, for the simplistic ease of time, just do that. So here I am. Let's go ahead and we'll spend a coin, and we will move this 1, 2, 3 into Roma, okay? So the Roma contract is complete. I have an empty space now for more contracts. And I still have 2 more moves, right? So I'm gonna go back to Madrid. And we're going to go this way, 4, 5. All right, that's the end of my turn. Now, I will go ahead and I'm going to pay for the rail. So I'm going to pay this rail. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to get out to kind of a different place in the board. I'm going to get out to Burgkrest. And that'll get me some contracts, go to Burgkrest and Oslo. So let's go ahead and build those 5 trains. It's really simple. I look at my rail spot. Now this one was incomplete from the first time, or from a turn before, so I have to build this first. So 1, 2, 3, and I know that's going to Oslo, so probably the best way to do that would be to continue the junction up that way. But I'm gonna need access to the other city, so let's just go 4 and 5. All right. And then let's keep on going here. So here's another one. I'm going to build more rails. So let's go with 1, 2, 3. Whoops. 3. And these require 2 moves to go into. So that's going to be 4, 5 like this. And then one more turn. All right. 1, 2, 3. 4, and one more. Let's just hook up Stockholm here, 5, because maybe I'll need a Stockholm contract. All right, after doing that, let's go ahead and spend one of these to get down to Madrid. 1, 2. We've gone to Madrid. We've completed the contract. I've got 3 more city moves, and like I said, I want to get to Burgkrest here just to try to get these things going. So let's go 3, 4, 5, pay another 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm in Burgkrest. I take this and I must go to Oslo. When I do that, I put it there, and at the end of your turn, you refresh the contracts. And so now I have a new contract to work on if you know, and when I would decide to take it, and it looks like that. So that's basically the trope of this game. And you're basically trying to optimize, because you only have a certain amount of turns. You can't spend all your turns building rails everywhere, because that'll blow a bunch of turns, and you've got to be clever about how you pick up different routes and in different places so that you can kind of maximize the distance, I should say minimize the distance between your different contracts. So at the end of the game, you have to complete everything in all these piles before you run out of coins. And if you do, then you can score it. If you don't, you get a lose or a loss, pardon me. And the scoring conditions are here. And the way you score is that you basically have a situation where you're going to get 5 points for each first fulfilled city card, and then 3 points for each coin. So you don't worry about if you get it a second time. So what that does is, since I think there's roughly 30 cities or something like that, you know, you can maximize those points there, and then you got to save some coins. So it gives you some interesting, it's all puzzle. There is no interaction with any other player or automa or anything else. That's what you're looking for. So when you have this solo game, imagine basically just an abstract style puzzle gameplay situation. And that's what it looks like.
Okay, and hopefully that gave you a good overview of what you'd be doing in the solo game. My impression of the solo game is it's a pleasant puzzle. It's okay, it's very tactical. There is no real strategy, I should say. There is a strategy. There's a tactical choice you want to make, basically optimization the whole way through. But it's not like you can decide at the beginning of this, I'm going to try this strategy for that strategy. It's really the same. You want to be as efficient as possible. And if that's the puzzle you're looking for, fantastic. I kind of feel, though, that this, from a purely solo perspective, in my opinion, is probably not worth the expense. And the reason being is because it just doesn't have enough dynamics and enough depth to bring you back again and again. I actually think that the multiplayer would be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to trying it multiplayer, to be honest. But if I can't, or it doesn't happen, this game probably won't remain in my collection for too much longer. I'll probably play it a few more times. But the puzzle is going to be the same each and every time. I will say, too, that there's been a lot of criticism on the fact that the cities are sort of, you know, the names and such don't call them out, and where they are and such makes it more difficult. I would agree with that. I think that they could have easily color-coded the board or color-coded the cities into any kind of regions to make it a lot simpler to, at a glance, look around at the different cards in the regions and say, all right, I'm in the red region, so there's a red city here, let's do that. That would have been very simple and would have improved the gameplay so that you didn't have to memorize where the cities were. That was a miss, and I think something that could have easily been dealt with. So I would say that's a valid criticism. Again, I guess I just would say it's okay. It's an all right game, okay solo, but not something that I would say is essential to anybody's collection. There's nothing wrong with it. It's easy to play. It's quick to set up. It's quick to play. But it's probably not going to last forever unless you really kind of enjoy those types of puzzles. And I would say it's easy to play, but it's not easy to win. I haven't won either of the times that I've won. I want to be very clear about that. I've always fallen about 1 or 2 contracts short of finishing the game. So I know it's winnable, but I just haven't gotten there. But again, it's not so much that. I like a challenging solo game, and it is challenging. It's just, you know, does it really want to call me to come back to the table and do all that stuff? Would it be great for an app that you could just play laying on the couch? Absolutely. I would love that. But if I'm going to set up a board game and go through all that stuff, I want a little bit more, I think, in my solo puzzly experience. A little more richness, depth, that sort of thing. Anyway, I hope this was informative for you. Thank you very much for watching. Whatever you play in the future, I hope you have a fantastic time doing it. Take it easy, everyone.